What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is June the 17th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data points, retail sales and manufacturing is kind of the ones to watch for today. In the past, they have really moved the market, but given the circumstances, I think the biggest priority is the Middle East conflict and whether or not the States is going to get involved. That's the biggest thing, how the market's kind of interpreting all of that and how the market seems to be flip-flopping. One day seems to be thinking everything is fine, then it's not, it's fine. And so far today, from what I can see, the market is rather freaked out because China and the States did give kind of evacuation warning. So I think both of those countries are anticipating for things to get worse in that general region. But futures are currently red. Dow is down 0.4, S&P down 0.38, NASDAQ down 0.41. So it is recovering from the lows, but still, nonetheless, it is in the red. Getting right to it though, you do have SoFi slightly red, 1.01%. No news, no SEC filings from them, but then again, they like to put out their news roughly at 9 a.m. So it's a little bit too early for that anyways. But SoFi had a pretty kick-ass day yesterday, so hopefully they are able to recover and really move higher. But given SoFi, usually how the market just absolutely hates on them and how it just goes down, it's doing fairly well. Knock on wood. I don't think I have any wood here, but yeah, knock on wood. But 12.96% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 140 million shares. Surprisingly, shorts did increase yesterday, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, but it wasn't that much. It was only like 500,000 shares. But I think Wednesday and Friday, those are going to be the key days to watch for with shorts, but I don't really see them doing all too much today. Currently, with it at 1478, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 1442 is going to be a strong support, so just watch for that. Flip side, 1489, and then 1519 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I personally I think it might be premature to say, but I think that today might be bought up. So SoFi will be able to hopefully retest this 1489 and stay above it. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Moving on, ticker RUN. So energy and solar, they are getting absolutely slaughtered. This one is down 35.06%. Many others, Enphase, First Solar, a lot of them are getting hit because of this. So solar stocks plunge as Senate bill proposes phasing out solar and wind credits by 2028. So this would be absolutely detrimental. So this is why the stock is going down. But in reality, if a stock is dependent on credits, whether it be the EV sector or whatever, and if those companies cannot survive standalone, then yeah, I think they might be overvalued. So when it comes to this, it might be a good swing trade opportunity. But essentially, I don't really know the margins too well with this specific company, but most likely it's not too thick, and this is why it's going down so much. This stock is somewhat heavily shorted though, so they're going to play a part in what happens today. So far pre-market, they're not doing anything, so that goes to show that the 35% down day is truly institutions selling. So shorts might play their own game, or they might just take advantage and return, but 26.97% of the free float is being shorted. Right now though, with a 624 right below this S1, so 626 is clearly going to be a key pivot for it today. 896 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, and then 459 is going to be the next strong support. That S2, so that 459, I don't see that being touched. If anything, you might see a recovery. So personally, I do see it recovering to probably around that 7 to 730-ish range, in my opinion, but anything is possible, of course. Moving on, ticker is XTIA. So this one is up 16%, and no news, no SEC filings on why it is moving higher today, other than just the overreaction from yesterday. So it went down 31.77% yesterday, up 16% this morning. It is very heavily shorted. So 41.35% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 2.32 million shares. With it right now at 325, trading between this pivot and this S1. 233 is going to be a strong support. I don't see that being touched today. And then 445 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And I believe during the overnight, it did actually touch that. So essentially it's on the table. So for those swing traders, that's a pretty good ROI just in the short term, in my opinion. But moving on, ticker is SAFX. So reason why they are going higher is because of, similar to the last stock, possibly just an overreaction. So this news really took it down yesterday, and it was just them appointing new board of directors. Unfortunately, I don't really know all too much about the business, so in case you're curious, this is the company profile, but it's fairly recent. It just started trading, it looks like, and it had a huge hype initially, which reached 45.90, but since then it is down 89.95%. So things aren't really going according to plan. Very volatile, but for those of you that are day traders, swing traders, this is going to be something to watch for. And even aside from swing and day traders, this one is very heavily traded so far pre-market, so institutions are getting involved. So again, something to keep in mind. It's too early to kind of go over the short information, so not enough information for that yet. But right now with that 342, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 313 is going to be a strong support. So if you are a value investor, or if you do want to orient it towards the next support level, that will be it, followed by 287 and then 245. Flip side, 355, 397, and then 423 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. Like I said, big money is getting involved, so they are going to be swing and day trading this, so you could see some crazy highs. So again, just take note of mental picture of a lot of these. So this R3 to this R1, all very much possibilities. So, and again, if you're a day trader, this one's going to be a good one for you. And then last but not least, ticker is MINM. And so that's a tongue twister if you say that quite a few times back to back, but it is up 13%. And similar to the other stocks, no news, no SEC filings or anything like that. So despite the futures red, you do see quite a few stocks such as this that are starting to move higher. So I think just a lot of speculative plays are getting a lot of attention today, such as, again, this one right here. It doesn't show the short interest right now. So did they do a reverse stock split? Nothing recently. So they had to have done something, most likely a issuance, and this is why Ortex isn't showing anything right now. But from what I can see, it's roughly around that 12% range, but works out to be 4.4 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So right now, though, with that 268, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So $1.95 is going to be a strong support. 380 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, which could, again, like I said, big money is really focusing on this stock today, and many of the other ones I kind of talked on. So it could have a nice push to that 380. Realistically, though, I don't really see it feasible. And again, without really knowing much about the company itself, I just don't really see that occurring. But then again, hopefully I'm wrong and this goes to like $10, $20 or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on what big money's focusing on today. Do you think it is now a time to panic in the broader market? What's your general thoughts, and what are you buying? So even aside from the stocks I did bring up, what stocks are you buying in the market right now? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been exactly on point, even despite massive red days. There's been a lot of huge hits on there. So yeah, definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.